Hello, ooh, hello everybody. Good morning, good morning. I can't see through my glasses. And now I've got all sorts of people in my kitchen. Huh? What are you doing? Want to say good morning? Say good morning to my beautiful child. No, I'm not picking up, sweetie. We're working with food, my babe. You know this. What are you doing? Hungry for what? So early in the morning. Do you want to ask Dad to help you? What are you getting? You hungry for what? Sweets? The joys of having your kids at home. It is holiday time actually for my child. Besides the lockdown. So regardless, she would have been home for the next 3 weeks. What are you doing? What? Do you want me to help you? I can't see without my glasses. Well, I can see. I can't read. I can see, but I can't read. Well, I can read a little bit. Like it's blurred. Just a little. I can sort of read. It's just a little bit clearer. And it doesn't give me a headache if I wear my glasses. Okay. Come, back. Mom's busy. Okay. Good morning. Let's start again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a freezing, ice cold Cape Town. It's wet, it's cold, it's icy. I think it is, I've been here in Cape Town 7 years. This is the coldest I have ever been in Cape Town. I kid you not when I say it is the coldest I have ever been in Cape Town. So, we happened to arrive just as the drought was starting, and the drought ended about 2 years ago, roughly. So, last year was actually one of the very first genuine Cape Townian winters we've had living here, and obviously this is now like total Cape Town weather. It's super cold and it's raining, pretty much like UK weather in the winter months here in Cape Town. So, what are we up to today? What are we up to today is, so remember I said I was going to do like basically a month, one stream for a week, for about a month on different fudges and stuff like that. But if I can't get fudge to happen the first time round, I'm going to have to do it again until I get it right, before I can actually do like, different flavors and stuff. So kind of need to get it right first, right? So so originally I wanted to try it with the condensed milk. That's what I did on Friday. I actually ended up reboiling. I ended up taking all the fudge out. So I put the fudge in the fridge to try and set. It didn't really set. So I took it out. I pulled all of it out and I reboiled it to get it to the softball stage. But so the recipe that I used was supposedly traditional South African fudge, and there wasn't a lot of instruction. Like my child's making s'mores. I've taught her how to make s'mores in the microwave. So now she's making s'mores. Maybe we should do a YouTube video for you when you make s'mores. We'll do that later. Okay. When Mom's done, because we've got all the lights, we can set it up for you. So because I've never done fudge. Okay. Excuse the extra noise or whatever with my child being here. She's supposed to be in her bedroom playing and stuff, but she's busy making s'mores. So I wanted to try and make it with condensed milk because I had never made it with condensed milk before, but I landed up reboiling it and trying to get it to the temperature, and it did then set, and then I beat it. I put it in my mixer and I beat the hell out of it because Does anybody ever remember the American Fudge factory? If you live in South Africa, you will know, but I don't know if it was anywhere else in the world, but I know that in South Africa for a while it was quite a popular place to go get really delicious fudge. And they used to do it on these big marble blocks, and they used to, I don't know, spend hours moving this fudge until it hardened and eventually got it into like little bricks and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna like, maybe that's what I need to do, because literally the recipe that I had minimal instruction. They were like, oh, this is how easy it is, da 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 da. And I have to say, fudge is not easy. Anything that you have to do with soft ball stage is not easy. You need to understand it, because you can either not really get it to soft ball stage, or apparently now I have subsequently found that there is soft ball stage. What was it? There was 4 different stages actually. So there's soft ball stage, hard ball stage, there's crusting ball stage, or crystal. I must find it again, and I'll actually post it on my Facebook page, or it's somewhere, so that people can see it. But there's actually more stages than just softball stage. I always thought there was softball stage. So I'm assuming that actually fudge needs to not get to softball stage. They call it softball stage, but actually it needs to go up 1 further or 2 further. So yeah, a little 2 more stages up, not softball stage, because I really it tasted absolutely delicious and tasted like fudge and everything like it, but it was not hard. It was so soft that it was sticking to each other, and it was actually almost like melting back into each other. I don't know if you saw my picture on Facebook. You can see that it was kind of like just like almost like remelting back into itself, but it was sort of keeping form. So you could kind of pull it off in its square, but it was sticking, and yeah, it was just definitely not fudge as we know what fudge is, right? So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you can't make soft gooey fudge. That might have been perfect if I then now wanted to turn it into some kind of dessert or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like, for what I'm actually aiming to be doing is what's it? I want to start creating these homemade sweets in a jar, but basically homemade sweets. And we decided to start off with fudge, because we thought that everybody loves fudge, and it's a product that can actually be packaged and can last a long time packaged, and it doesn't need to be sold right now, kind of thing. So that's why we started off with fudge, and we wanted to then come up with a whole lot of different fudges. But like I say, I need to get the fudge right first. I need to get it right. And my husband is my #1 taste tester. And when he goes, no, then you know it's no. So we don't even go further. We just got to start again and try again. So we are going to try again. But this time I have found what they call traditional fudge. And I have found it is a lot more informative. It's got a lot more instructions. It's got tips. It's got, there's like, it specifically says get Rebecca. Excuse my child screaming down at the dog. So this one doesn't have condensed milk in it, but it does have cream. Rebecca, please. Rebecca, quiet, please. So this one doesn't have condensed milk in. There's a lot more ingredients in this one, okay? Whereas the other one literally had condensed milk, sugar, the minimal, whatever. I almost feel like the more ingredients, the more it's going to taste better. So let's see. Let's see what we'll end up doing. Oh, no, it's because I've got that. So let's do that. And I've got it behind me. Okay. I'm being told to take my logo off. Tap it up. Well, you'll see it. I'm going to switch everything off anyway so that people can see my face. Okay, So what we're going to need with this recipe, and let's hope it comes out, it needs apparently 2 to 3 hours to set at room temperature. So these are kind of things that the other recipe did not say. It just said leave to set. It doesn't say whether it should go. It didn't specify the temperature it needed to be at. You know, once it gets to the right temperature. It didn't specify, you know, like whether you beat it with a, you know, it said beat it, but it didn't say whether it was by hand or in the machine. It didn't say cool it in the fridge or not or whatever. Whereas this one, there's a lot more information about it. So that's why I'm going to go with this one. Also, this recipe has, from here, it builds on other flavors. So I'm hoping this is going to turn out beautifully so that I can then try out all the other flavors that comes with this one, which has some really, really nice flavors. So we're going to obviously need all our measuring spoons and a wooden spoon apparently, my thermometer. I'm not even going to try and wing it with the softball stage. I am just going to go ahead and go straight with I'm not even going to mess around. I'm going to use my thermometer. For whatever reason, it said that I needed the biggest pot that I can find that holds at least 3 liters. So my pan holds, this pot holds 4 liters, so that's cool. We're going to need double cream. Unfortunately, it's a thing. Maybe I could have got it Woolies. I don't know. But in general, you can't get double thick cream. I battled to do that. So I've just got normal cream. So I hope that's not going to change much of anything. Cream, milk, butter, caster sugar, and I don't know if you've ever worked with this kind of sugar. It's muscovado sugar. There we go. It's that like wet brown sugar, and it like moves because it's like wet. So we're going to use that as well, and vanilla. So that's what. So no condensed milk. So I'm already feeling confident about it because there's no condensed milk in it. I know condensed milk is absolutely delicious and it can make things taste really nice in it, but if it's not going to work with the recipe, you know, like for me, sometimes people, you sometimes find a recipe, or people put out recipes, but there's probably one minor little step that they miss out, and that's why it doesn't work. I say this. So I used to work with a person who used to make the most delicious soft and fluffy and moist vanilla cupcakes, and I was like, okay, because generally vanilla cake is always an issue, right? And I said to her, please, can I have your recipe? And she gave me her recipe, and she said it's that simple. And I was like, okay. And never, ever did my recipe come out the way, it was her recipe, but when I baked it, it was never like the way she baked it. Because she clearly did something like extra. Maybe she beat something more, or, you know, for like 10 minutes. But because she's so used to doing it, she doesn't actually time herself or anything like that. So when she passes on the recipe, there's a little something that's missing. So you will never get it exactly. But there are some people that sometimes when they do a recipe, they actually give you all the information that you need so that you can get it right. So that's how I feel about that recipe from Friday, is that there was something missing. Because, yeah, I mean, it should be as simple as softball stage and then, you know, go from there kind of thing. But it did not happen. So what we are going to do, we need 300 ml of double cream. So we're going to put that in to our bowl, into our pan. This is 250 ml. So see, now this is where I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I hope it's not going to make much of a difference. I needed 300 ml, and I needed double cream. I don't have double cream, and I don't have 300 ml. I only have 250. And then 100 ml of milk. So I'm going to put the balance of the 50 ml as milk, and I'm using full cream milk. So it's 100 ml of milk, and then and then the extra 50. So that's what I'm going to put in here. And then, guys, if you're there, chat to me, say hello. And I can see people are in. So if you can say hi, say hi. I like it when people say hello and talk to me. You need to talk to me. Okay, so that's that, and then we need 100 grams of butter. Let's go from there. And I got a battery. I got a battery. I haven't had a battery in a while because I don't always use the scale. I use my cups a lot. So let's just set it to 0. Why doesn't it want to set to 0? There we go. So let's get 100 grams of the butter. So it's 3. Oh no, it's 100 grams. I thought it was more. Okay, 100 grams. 8. So I use baking margarine. This is store. Is it? No, this is Best Bake. So we're going to put that in. And we're going to put 300 grams of caster sugar. So this one's all working in grammage as opposed to mils. Most of my recipes work according to 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cup, you know, that kind of thing. So this one not so much. So 300 grams of sugar. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do that. That's the sugar. And we need the other sugar. So we're going to put that in there. And then we're going to do this weird moving sugar. Really is weird. Don't really use it for anything else other than baking, honestly. How much? 150. So you can see it's not not like normal sugar. I always laugh about, or I always like make a comment that it's like alive sugar. I'll try and zoom in so that you can see. I don't know if you can see what it's doing. It moves because it's almost like wet. I don't know what they do to make it like this. And it also smells divine. I am originally from Zimbabwe, and the one thing that reminds me of Zim is the brown sugar. Like when I smell, and I left there when I was very very young, but it's the one thing that if I think of Zim, it's brown sugar, and the smell of brown sugar, love it, takes me back. Okay. You can see it's moving. It moves, it's alive. It's alive. Okay, so we're going to move this onto the stove. So I'm going to switch cameras, but we're going to move it onto the stove. We're going to take a wooden spoon, and I'm just going to I just want the sugar in that to get wet. I find that if you try and start it when the sugar's not wet, it kind of can burn your sugar and stuff. So okay, so we're actually going to try and get it to softball stage with all of this like this. So we shall see. Okay, so we're going to move. I'm going to move over to the stove. I'm going to switch cameras, and I'll see you there. Right. So we're going to go on to low heat first. It says. And I'm just going to actually switch off this camera too, because there's no real reason why it should be on. You can just hear me, right? You can just hear me. Can you hear me? I'm sure you can. Right, low heat. I'm going to start off with low heat to so that we can, it says what? Low heat, stir constantly until the butter has melted and the sugars have dissolved. And then we're going to up the heat and allow it to come to boil, and then we're going to simmer it until it gets to 241 degrees. This is why I'm not even going to play around with the soft core stage. I'm just going to do as it says. If it says 250 degrees or 241 degrees, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it at 241. So I really want this to come out the way it should. Really, 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 really do. It looks, I think it's going to come out quite dark because of that muscovado sugar. Because it's, even though that, I mean, I can only get that particular one. They said light, obviously meaning light in color, but that was the only one I could get, so there was no other option. So we use what we have, right? And I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. It'll probably just make a difference in the color. It's going to come out really dark. I don't think that's, for me, that's not an issue. My issue is whether it comes out hard or soft, right? Because it needs to be something, and it definitely can't be soft. That's for sure. It says that it should take 25 minutes to cook. 25 minutes to cook, right? I don't think it's going to take 25 minutes to cook. I think it's going to take longer. Maybe because I'm using my lower, I'm not using my, again, I use my, and this is a big pan, it's a big pot, and I'm using my small plate because I would rather it take longer to get to where it needs to get than rush it and then it burns. After dinner treat is in British. Huh? This is British treat. Is it? Where's fudge from? Can anyone tell me? How did fudge start? Maybe I should do a little research on where fudge came from originally. I'm a bit, it says that it serves 64 pieces from a 20 centimeter square tin. I'm not sure what the size of the fudge is going to be. I'm assuming then it's about 2 centimeters big or 2.5 centimeters big that you cut it into, because it might, I think what it'll end up being probably a cube, so be quite thick, and then you make it small because it's very thick, because 64 pieces, that's not big pieces, that's small. They're pretty small pieces. I think that's about 2.5 centimeters cubed. You can see my sugar is dissolving and the butter's almost melted. I think with this I'm also not going to have to worry about, because it's got the cream. What are we adding at the end once we've done it? It's just the vanilla. It's just the vanilla. Okay. I don't think, because of the cream in the milk, won't have to worry about that crystallization that you would get like if you were doing marshmallows. Okay, so this is almost dissolved. I'm not going to move it onto a bigger stove, stovetop. It will come to boil on its own, so I'm just going to leave it on the highest anyway. I'm just going to leave it to come to boil on its own. But I've got to continuously, I cannot leave it. I've got to keep stirring the whole time. Say, increase the heat while stirring all the time. So now we're just going to wait for it to boil a bit. So I just want to be able to see if anyone's chatting. Woo! Hello to those who've just joined us. I've changed my recipe. I'm trying out a completely new recipe. Yeah. If this one works, then I'm going to then try. We're going to try variations on this particular recipe. There are variations on this recipe, so I really want to get it right. And I hope it tastes delicious. I'll have to find some people to taste for me, because yeah, it's not good for me to be eating it all, or my husband, or my child. It's just too much sugar. I know I make a lot of sweet treats, but yeah, to be eating it ourselves is not good for us. So, any volunteers for tasting? Let me know. If you live in my area. minutes at all. I don't even know if it's coming to a boil yet. It's starting. You can see there's bubbles. So it's starting to boil. And must admit, I mean, let's be honest, fudge is actually just pure sugar. Actually, to be honest, so is marshmallow. Like, you know, you always like think it might be fat-free as in no fat marshmallow, but it's pure sugar. Where's this fudge? I think that's now you know, especially a recipe like this that's got, and you see it's got cream and it's got butter and sugar. It is an indulgent dinner treat. Yes, is this what we should call it? I just want to call it treats in a jar. I found a very pretty little jar to possibly do these things in. Sure, the wind is howling outside. And now it looks like it's going to start raining again. It's super cold outside. And if any of you are keen, I haven't advertised it yet, but I will. I'm going to try and advertise it this weekend. If you've got kiddies and you want them to cook along with me, bake along with me, I'm going to do a week of that with going live for a week, basically every day for a week, for 4 days, where you can cook along with me on YouTube, and I'll post what you all need. You can bake along. Your kiddies can bake along with the thing is that in South Africa at the moment, not only is it school holidays, we've also been put into lockdown. So, you know, it's a case of needs, you know, to do stuff with the kiddos, because there's no online schools or anything like online schooling at the moment because it's school holidays. So, yeah. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be for longer than the 14 days that they say. So, originally I wanted to do it in person with the kids, but obviously because of what's happening, that's not going to happen. So I'm going to just try and amend it that the moms and the kids can do it with me. Online. We're going to be doing 4 different easy treats to simple stuff. I'm going to teach how to bake sugar cookies and ice them. How to bake cupcakes and decorate them. And then we're going to, I was originally going to teach them how to make marshmallow fluff from scratch. But I can't do that in person. And yeah, that's something, I would need to be assisting in person with. So we're gonna, I'm amending that one to make Rice Krispie treats. Or maybe I would do something else instead of that. Not sure. We're not boiling yet. It has gotten lighter. The more we, pin it up, the lighter it's getting actually. Looking more like fudge, but I was a bit worried it was going to be a bit dark. And I'm not sure of the reason why it's saying that you needed a 3 liter pot. Here we go. So now it's starting to boil. As you can see, there goes the bubbles. So because I'm on pretty much lowish heat, because I'm not on an extremely hot stove top, I'm not using the other ones. I'm not even going to change the heat. I'm just going to let it boil, keep boiling. Be interested to see where we're at with the temperature. It needs to get to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I think my I wonder if that's half the problem, that it didn't work. No, I was at softwood stage. Possibly need a new battery. I think so. Might need to get a new battery. There we go. Fahrenheit, let's put it in. See where it's at, the temperature. We're now starting to simmer and boil. It needs to get to 110 degrees or 230. Oh wait, where's it going to get to? Sorry, 116 degrees Celsius or 241 Fahrenheit. So mine's at 218 at the moment. Just swap over. I'm so right-handed. You get some nifty, mine's a real cheapy sugar thermometer, but it works. But you get some nifty ones that actually clip onto the side of your pan, where you can just leave it there until it, whereas I end up taking mine in and out the whole time, because obviously I can't stand here forever or anything. And, it's even starting to smell like fudge. Yeah, it even smells like fudge now. So we want to get it to 241, which is pretty much the same temperature as softball stage for marshmallows. But marshmallows is 242. So yeah, pretty much the same. And it's actually the temperature that I got. The recipe that I did on Friday was the same temperature, yet it still didn't come out. And my research, I did a little bit of research as to why it didn't really get hard or set properly. And one of the reasons that they said was because there's actually too much moisture still, so I think in particular that recipe would need to go to more hardball stage rather than softball stage, so that you could get the harder fudge. Because, I don't know, maybe with the condensed milk, I don't know. No, but I mean you're putting cream in here, so I don't know. I mean, like for me, the cream and the milk really is the same as putting condensed milk in, and then obviously you're putting a different sugar in as well, so probably still going to get the same kind of flavors. Just so instead of having one ingredient for condensed milk, you've now got 3 to give you the same result. I just like recipes that give you extra information and tips, so that you can go, okay, then need to make sure that this happens or that happens or whatever, otherwise, this might happen. So yeah, there's no crystallization happening. It's becoming quite creamy actually. And look at this, it's quite nice. Yeah, but there's no actual crystal. It's starting to thicken up definitely, I can see that. But no crystallization happening, but I think that is due to the cream in the milk. You have to continuously yeah, they say with a wooden spoon, but this is a wooden spoon technically. It's a silicone wooden spoon. I just prefer the silicone wooden spoon because it's easier to clean. And you have to keep stirring it. One of the reasons why you keep stirring it is because you're actually distributing the heat, so that you're not only one, like just the center is getting hot. You've got to distribute the heat around, especially on like what I'm doing now with such a big pot on a small stove top. It's sitting at 215. I will be going live on Friday. Friday I have an order. Someone had placed an order a while back, and they're still going ahead. They're not actually having a party, but anymore. Just in case you're wondering, they're not having a party anymore, so no, anything like that. But because it's a little girl's birthday, they still want the cake, which is really awesome because the little ones they still want to celebrate and stuff like that. Well, actually anybody. I mean, like I'm in my 40s and I still love celebrating my birthday with my friends and my family and stuff like that. I love it. So I think lockdown, no lockdown, you've got to still have cake to celebrate your birthday, whether you're doing it with 20 people, 50 people, or just the 3-4 people that are in your house. So I think it's great that they haven't postponed or cancelled their order. I mean, it's great for me, but I think it's great for the kid because she's still going to get to have the cake that she wanted on her birthday. So I'll be doing that cake on Friday, putting it together. I'll be baking it. Not baking it. I'll be finishing it off on Friday and decorating it. I'm not really baking cakes on my stream anymore because I feel like it's much of the same. I've baked once or twice already on the stream, but I don't really want to do the same thing over and over again to bore you guys. It's the same like with the fudge. I'm doing the fudge today and I did it on Friday, but we're going to change it up with different flavors and stuff. So once it starts, it will sit for a while at a certain temperature, and then it will suddenly just shoot up. So I had to have a giggle. A friend of mine, she posted on my Facebook page that after watching my live on Friday, she inspired her, that I inspired her to make her own fudge. She's also a baker, so she decided to make fudge. Except she did an easy recipe, so she says, simple easy recipe that is done in the microwave. I am not a baking in a microwave person. I'm not doing things in the microwave. Besides defrosting food, warming up food, or cooking my vegetables, I don't really use my microwave for anything else. I'm not a fan I'm not a fan of baking in the microwave, and I say this, I don't know if technology has changed and all the rest of it, but I remember when microwaves first came out. My mom and I used to go for classes on the microwave and how to use it and what you can do in the microwave and you can bake in the microwave and all that kind of stuff. Nothing ever tasted good coming out of the microwave. Or it never worked. It would like flop or get really hard or no. So yeah, I'm not a fan of baking in the microwave, but she made fudge and it came out perfect, which kind of annoys me. That it came out perfect, but I think she's made fudge before, and I think that's a recipe she's made on quite a few occasions. So she kind of knows what to do, and she knows it's a tried and tested recipe. So yeah. So obviously you're not going to see the end result of this. Sorry, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Because obviously it needs 3 hours. 3 hours to set outside of the fridge. So I will post a picture. Hopefully a beautiful picture of beautiful fudge later today. Because yeah, if it's out. So yeah, by later this afternoon there should be a picture up of, hopefully some delicious looking fudge that looks like fudge and is not the soft something else. And hopefully, what are we getting to? 2:41. We have 2:30, so we're almost there. And you can definitely see it's definitely getting thicker. It's gotten lighter in color as well. If you've just joined us, hello. I'm making fudge, supposedly traditional fudge. I'm assuming traditional fudge means that it's just vanilla fudge and there's nothing else with it. And kind of just, this is your base fudge before you start making variants on it. And I really, really, really want to get this right because I really want to do the variants. There's some delicious variants. There's a coffee, what is it, a coffee chocolate, I think? I'll have to double check it. There's a caramel fudge, caramel chocolate. So yeah, I really want to do that, but if I can't get the base recipe of this recipe right, I'm not going to be able to do that. Yeah, so we'll see what other recipe flavors we can do if we get this one right. I'm not going to do like a hang of a lot of different flavors, just mainly, maybe 2 or 3 different. Or we'll have plain, and then maybe the other 2 different flavors. I think the coffee one, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I do like coffee flavored sweeties. Like coffee flavored chocolate is really delicious. Okay, I'm hearing this, but barring the milk and the cream, this is very similar to the recipe that I used to make. Just like, I think the recipe I used to make as a kid was just pure sugar. Let's be honest. There was no cream or anything. I actually don't know where that recipe is and what was in it. Now I kind of want to see if I can find it somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's amongst all my... I have recipe books that I don't even know. There's one particular one that I use all the time, and that's desserts. But yeah, otherwise, I bake borrow and steal recipes, and I've got like a book full of like ones that have been copied. getting super thick. That is really thick now. But it's still not at 241. It's definitely thickening up. Wow, this is like 236, 237. We're going to get there now, I think. Definitely not 20 minutes. That's for sure. This is not 20 minutes of cooking. They lied about that. If you put your hand up for a tester, I'll deliver you some fudge. And then you need to go and give me a Google rating. 239. Oh, we're almost there. 239, and I can see we're going to be almost there. It's definitely getting thicker, and it's almost having this different kind of sound when I scrape the sides. Longer, 238. Yeah, I definitely need to get a thermometer that I can just leave on the side. So this is quite I have to just hold it. 240. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there.
Not me to point the camera at your back.
And we're there, it says 241. Let's take it off. Just want to double check the temperature because it kind of does change a bit. Sometimes 241. Right, we're at where we need to be. So put that down. And that dropped. And I'm going to move over to my other camera. Oh, look at that, sizzling, sizzling. Okay, so what it said now is that we need to leave it to cool to a certain temperature. Then we're going to beat it by hand, not in a mixer. Ugh. You know, you're going to do something. Yeah, it's supposed to stay cloudy. Oh, the electrician said to me, "Oh, I'll come tomorrow." And I'm like, the weather says it's pouring tomorrow. Today there's no rain, it's just cloudy. Haven't heard from him. So the temperature that it needs to drop to is 230. So, undisturbed. Okay, so we're not going to touch it, but we are going to check the temperature to. It needs to drop. What? You can see me. So the temperature needs to drop to 230 and it's already dropped to 214. So I'm already down. Huh? Am I on the right thing? So I think we're there. That was quick. They said it would be quick, but I didn't think it would be that quick. Right. So we're at below the temperature. Now, add the vanilla. Oh, wait. I don't want my spoon to disappear in there. It's going to disappear in there. Okay. 5 ml of the vanilla. So we're going to add some You think it's 5? Yes, just 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Okay. And then we're going to beat it. So they say. We're going to beat this until we can get it. So I don't know if you can see, it's quite glossy. That just tastes like, I don't know. Okay. So now I need to beat it and beat it and beat it until it's lost its shine. And it says specifically with a wooden spoon by hand. Well, you can't do it in a mixer by with a wooden spoon, I suppose. It's going to give my arm a workout, which doesn't, I don't have much. I don't know how long this process is, to be honest, with the beating. And I've already, this time round, prepared my pan, because last week I didn't. And yeah, that's not a good idea. Make sure that your pan is done before you start. It's still kind of glossy. So I think there's a bit of a trick to it, because you don't want it to have hardened in your pot, so that you can. Oh, love. There's someone at the door. So I think there's a trick, because obviously you still need to pour this, so you can't make it too, it still needs to be quite runny. I think we're pretty much almost there with someone's supposed to be dropping something off if it's not the electrician. For my order on Friday. I think that's lost its. What do you think, Dad? Has it lost its shine? It's definitely gotten lighter and thicker. I feel like this is also part of the secret, is how long you do this for, and at what point do you then pour it in, because the more you mix it like this, the thicker it's going to get. So if you don't do it for long enough, it's not going to set. Yeah. You're hungry? Are you dying? Are you dying? I'm also hungry, but I'll make us something when I'm done. And Mom's got to bake later, and we'll bake our cakes for our tsunami cakes. I just let a cat out the bag. We're going to be making tsunami cakes next week. I'm going to do it with my daughter. It's no time like the presents while she's at home. She's got her own YouTube channel, and we want to do a tsunami cake. Well, for my channel as well as hers, but we wanted to try out the tsunami cake. So yeah. So I think what we'll end up doing is doing 2, because I want to try 2 different recipes with that. Also, again, one with condensed milk, one without. I think it's with condensed milk. Do you think? I think it's there. Pretty much there. See, now I don't understand how a microwave recipe works, because a microwave recipe you don't do softball stage. Pretty sure you don't beat the hell out of it like this. But anyway, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, fudge is fudge. Oh, you get so many different kinds of fudges and different textures. And I think this is it. It's lost its shine, most definitely lost its shine. So I'm just gonna pour it in here. Let's not waste all the let's not waste it. And then I'm going to just scrape it out. Yeah. I'm feeling very confident about this one. Definitely not in the same space that I was with Friday's one. It looks really good, and I've done everything that it says. Hold it up for very long. It's a very heavy pot. I'm going to push this in. So I think, yeah, what's going to happen is that it's going to be we're looking at like a nice cubed size of like 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters kind of thing. That out. So yeah, and this is the fudge. It definitely looks way better. Definitely looks way better than Friday's one with the condensed milk. I just hope that it's going to taste just as good. I just want it even, actually, so that I can have it from corner to corner nice. I think I need to get a more square tin. This one's got round edges. So this is my fudge for today. My no condensed milk fudge. So now they reckon 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. So by at least 1 o'clock, we should be able to cut it. Let's see where we're at with this. Yeah, you can have your phone. Is it dead? Is it fine? So, nobody want to talk to me? Nobody want to talk to me? Why not? Give you a coupon if you are watching. If you are watching and you want a coupon, you can have a coupon. Yeah, maybe when the fudge is up, you can maybe buy some fudge. My love, don't get caught in the rain. I hope there's no rain. My husband's going for a ride on his bicycle. He's braving the weather in the hopes that it doesn't rain. Or else you'll be flying home. Hey, you'll be riding as fast as you can to get home so that you don't get drenched. You don't even look like you in cycling attire, that's for sure. It is cold outside. And it's windy, hey? So it's going to be a hard ride too. So not only will you be freezing your bum off, it's windy. Okay guys, so that's basically me. I've spoken to you randomly for an hour and 10 minutes. Normally my streams can be longer. I think Friday will be a little bit longer. Maybe not. I don't know, probably around about the same. Who knows? Friday I'm doing a customer's cake, so I'll be decorating the cake. A wild kratz. Anybody know what wild kratz is? I need to go and have a look at that because I don't know who wild kratz is. But yeah, so we're going to be doing some leopard prints and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to see how we're going to do that all in buttercream. We're doing it with buttercream. I don't do these things in anything else but buttercream. So, yes. Okay, so anyway, so this is where we're at. We have to sit for 2 to 3 hours before we can even see what the result is. Sorry. And I actually thought, or maybe I should make a batch beforehand and then do it again today, but then I'd have excess fudge, one. And then, but I mean, isn't that the whole point, is to watch me? I find the whole point is for me to watch me do it first time on live. So, not necessarily pretend that I'm doing it first time and then I don't actually do it first time. But it is. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me and for watching. Please make sure, if you haven't subscribed, to make sure that you've subscribed and that you have the notification button clicked on, so that you can see when I'm uploading new videos and going live. I generally am going live. The general time is generally, I'm just saying general. Wednesdays at 9:30 and Fridays at 9:30, and then I go for, depending on what I'm doing and for how long it takes. I generally try and get in before 12, done before 12, by 12, because I have to fetch my daughter, but she's on holiday, so yeah. So yeah, wild kratz on Friday, and then I'm not too sure whether it will be one of the days next week, depending on how this turns out. One of the days next week will be fudge variant, and the other day will be live with my daughter. Live with my daughter doing a tsunami cake. So that's a definite happening. And then the week after that will be live with kids. Not with kids in my house, but live in the hopes of kids joining me and baking along with me every day. I'll be going live with something to bake with kids. So I will rope my child in so that at least I've got one kid with me to do the baking. And then, so that you can see that the recipes and the things that I've picked are things that kids can do. My daughter's 6, so my thing is anyone from 6 and up is definitely capable of learning how to bake. Simple recipes, whatever. I actually think I'm going to change Thursday's recipe. I'm not going to do the Rice Krispie treat. I find that kids don't really, I don't know, do they enjoy Rice Krispie treats? My child doesn't. So, although should I? Okay. If you think Rice Krispie treats for kids, learn how to, it's a very simple thing to do and make. I think, yeah, maybe I should just keep it at Rice Krispie treats. Except I will be doing it not with my own marshmallow. I'll be doing it with already bought marshmallows, because that's what everyone else will be able to get their hands on. If they were doing it with me in person, then I would be showing them how to do actual marshmallow. But yeah, I'm not gonna do it that way. So we will do it the easy way for kids to do. And yeah, maybe I'll find. But seriously, if you do have kids and you want to for them to do something, not next week, the week after, and they can definitely, I will be posting what they will need, what they need to get. And if you live in Cape Town, in the areas, I'm happy to do put the package together of groceries and deliver the groceries to your doorstep, so that you can do it along with me. Otherwise, yeah, I'll put out what you need so that you can bake along with me on the day. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna love and leave you now, because yeah, there's not much more I can do other than talk nonsense to you. And if no one is actually chatting to me, I don't know what it is about YouTube. Nobody really chats in the chat. I don't know if maybe they don't understand how to do it. I'm gonna say hello on my profile. I don't know if people don't know how, but you can see, you can chat and say things. So I'm not sure why nobody ever chats on YouTube. On Twitch, they don't stop. They talk, which is awesome, because then it gives conversation stuff. But one day people will start to chat with me if you're watching. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And I think, especially since we are in lockdown, if you can join me on my lives, that would be really amazing. Even if you're lurking and you just type me and say hi, and then say I'm lurking, and you've got me in the background, that would be awesome. Really, really, really awesome if you did that. But I'll see you on Friday. Have a fantastic Wednesday. And if you're in Cape Town or somewhere in South Africa, make sure you are staying warm, because it's super, super cold. And yeah, and if you, I think in the Free State or whatever, the cold is coming because it's cold here. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you on Friday.